So another pattern to master early on is the switch step. So very, very useful technique in Muay Thai. And it's not just for the sake of looking flashy, it's to actually give you some stretch shortening cycle, some bounce. All that stuff we've been working with the plyometrics in the gym, the switch step is a big, big user of this energy.
Fighters, welcome back to another episode of Heatrick Muay Thai Performance.
So if I'm in my stance here, just to kind of show you it first, rather than using it to power up a strike, we're looking at it to move you at the moment. So we're still initiating movement. So if I'm in this position here, I take the lead leg and I switch and drive forward. So I take that foot, pick it up, I drop it behind my center of gravity, behind this rear foot, and I'm on the ball of my foot, I drive that in to skip forwards. So I'm picking it up, drive forwards. Okay, so I'm here, drive forwards. So we're just using it to initiate movement. I can use it to drive straight ahead, going forwards here. I can also use it to drive off, kind of give me that 45-degree angle as well. Okay, so there's the two kind of angles, or the two main angles you can use on it. But what I want you to kind of play around with here is the timing of it. I can kind of do it quite subtly, where I pick the leg up and I just kind of drop it to drive forwards. So I like to use that off of things like shin blocks or recovering kicks, and then just drive it back to get that little switch to drive you forwards again. So I pick it up, I drive down, which allows me to come forwards. So I can do it in that kind of more relaxed way there, or I can kind of do it with a bit more of almost a jump, and I'm going to switch the rear foot forwards as I drive the lead foot back. So I end up here and I kind of switch, and it's more of a two-footed switch rather than a one-footed pick up drop. I've got a two-footed switch where I can drive through. So to build that up, let's just give you a few things if you're struggling with that. Either rock the weight onto that back leg, pick the lead leg up and drop it behind and just skip forwards. So you're just finding that drive right after that skip forwards as you're doing it. Or if you want to try and get to the two-footed switch method, what I like is to have people jump up and do it incorrectly first. So if I switch my feet and I want both feet to land at the same time initially, and that's actually incorrect, but so you can feel the difference. So if I jump and then land both feet together, but now if I jump and I try and make this lead leg, when it switches to the back, hit first. So instead of bam, both together, it's now that way. So the first one was there, now I want, and that's starting to get you to rock forwards. So we want a skipping action. When you switch your feet, it wants to produce energy moving forwards towards your opponent. So I'm going to switch here, drive forwards, and kind of exaggerating it there. So that's two ways of doing it. So a drill I like to use is to have the fighters stand with their feet on a parallel line. So I've got the edge of the mat here, I'm using that as a datum. Both feet are parallel, okay? And if I say go, give them a clap as a little stimulus to get moving fast, and then try and touch the wall, what you'll find is there'll be two kind of strategies people have. Some people will instinctively just fall forwards and then drive off. And some will actually find they jerk the foot back to move forwards. So one is faster than the other. You can only drive forwards when your center of gravity, which is kind of around at your navel, is in front of your base of support, your feet. So I have to wait to fall before I can move forwards. Another option would be, rather than wait for my center of gravity to move in front of my base of support, to actually change my base of support. So if I then take this foot back and drive it there, effectively like a switch step, that's going to move me forwards first. So if I kind of do like a sprint drill now, it's kind of like go, rather than and trying to move forwards here, I can actually go and move forwards. If people really struggle with this, incidentally, in using their left leg, because you might find orthodox fighters that are in this stance struggle to take that leg behind. You might be standing here on a parallel stance, and then they'll want to use the right foot to push off each time. So if they're doing that, get them to stand with their weight biased on their right leg, and then say, see if they'll then use the other leg, because there's less weight on it, to drive them off. And just, if you repeat this enough times, get them to find that firing pattern, that will become instinctive, and it might take a bit of patterning first. So once you've got this habit of, okay, that's how I can move forwards, dropping onto that foot, you'll notice how far behind this rear foot, this lead foot can drop to drive forwards. If I overdo it, it's kind of like a wheel spin, I didn't move forward. So it just needs to move back slightly behind that heel so I can sprint forwards. And it's exactly the same when I do a switch now. If I take this rear foot and put it on this line, now if I'm here and I do exactly the same thing, rather than from a parallel stance, it's there to drive, to accelerate. So I can use this as a little drill again. So I'm in my stance now, and rather than just pushing off that rear leg to come forwards, I'm going to switch the lead leg to sprint forward. So it's here, go, that would be my sprint. Okay, just again, so I'm here, sprint, I'm moving forwards. And that is your skip step there. So it's that move forwards. So a couple of little methods you can use to get either yourself or your students to find that switch step and really where the power comes from, being that stretch shortening cycle, heel off the floor, nice springy calf, and how you can find the timing and the foot placement to make it effective when we're going to apply that not only to footwork, but also to striking techniques and using that to power that up as well.
Thanks for listening. If you found this valuable, please like, subscribe, and share with someone else it could help too. Please give the podcast a review or comment below. We'd love to hear from you. As always, you can visit heatrick.com for more Muay Thai performance podcasts, videos, articles, and guides. Catch you next time.